Well, hello, hello, hello. Hi.
Hey, Jonathan, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How about you, Nadine?
Good. I too am good. It's been a busy day, but a good day.
It certainly is. And we're right in summer. I'm
Yes.
grateful to be in in this time, but I'm waiting so much for the last week of July.
The
And
last. Oh,
we're gonna talk about why today, but
yes, we are.
But before starting the conversation and give the welcome to our guests for today, as always, we want to start our live with our acknowledgement and recognitions, and that is that Black Lives Matter today and always. And Nadine was on the interwebs, and they came across something really interesting. I don't know if you want to mention a little bit of about that, Nadine.
Well, I came across this speaker on the Collective Impact Forum by the name of Sonia Renee Taylor. She had a really powerful message. Apparently, she has a book out about radical self love, and she has a beautiful message for everyone about how important it is to really love yourself so you can love others and so you can be fully yourself in the world. All kinds of wonderful messages about how we need to walk toward freedom together. And can I tell them that part, Jonathan, that we were just
Uh,
talking about?
absolutely.
Yeah, and hopefully I'll do her justice by saying it correctly. But she was specifically talking about Black women and how they are marching toward freedom. They have been marching toward freedom. That, if you see somebody walking toward freedom, you should follow them.
Mhm.
Better yet, you might run out ahead in front of them and clear the path. And she did suggest that you not jump on their backs and follow them that way.
Exactly.
But
It's not
but
climbing on their back,
yeah,
but walking alongside them.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. If
and
you're not up there clearing the path, so to
exactly.
make the way as easy as possible for all. So, but yeah, very powerful speaker. I suggest that people might want to Google her. And this is all in the work of collective impact and racial justice and how the two go hand in hand, because to make change, we need to have systemic change in the world. And with that, I'll say my name is Nadine, and I am the liaison for community engagement with Berks Teens Matter. And Jonathan's going to introduce himself, and then we're going to talk more stuff about justice in the world.
Yeah. So my name is Jonathan Rodriguez. I use him and he, him, and el pronouns, and I'm the Youth and Health Resource Center coordinator for Bergstein's Matters. And today we like I said, I'm kind of a little bit excited about the last week of July, because we're still in summer, and there's a couple of summer camps happening in our community. So we wanted to talk about one specific opportunity that is available for teens in the community, and that is Camp SafeBerks from our friends at SafeBerks. If you remember, we had Delio Santana a couple of weeks ago, talking about the importance of men in the not only in the field but in the movement towards a safer world, and a world where we can be free of gender-based violence. So to inform us about Camp Safe Perks and all the opportunities available, we have the amazing, the friendliest, the super awesome Victoria Simmons, community educator for SafeBerks. Hi, Victoria.
Madison. How are
Hey,
you?
Victoria.
Hi, Nadine.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you both so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for participating, for being willing to be here. It's pretty awesome.
Yes.
Well, thank you. You guys are pretty awesome too. And I'm also very excited for the last week of July because it means that we get to have you as part of our camp. So
Yes, I'll be
excited for
hanging
that.
out with folks.
I'm a little envious, y'all getting to participate in summer camp.
Hey, you're more than welcome to come. Please, by all means.
I understand it's close by. You never know. I might pop my head in.
Come by for lunch or something.
Ooh, there's an invitation.
Oh, or some better activities, but I'll save that for a little bit later. I'll
Okay.
talk about some of those even more fun activities that you may say, oh, actually, I think I'd rather be part of that.
So, Victoria, how long have you been part of SafeBerks, and what drew you to the organization?
So I am actually pretty new at SafeBerks. I have been working with SafeBerks just kind of towards since about March, and I was remote with them for a little bit, and then moved up here in April. So definitely new to the area, new to SafeBerks. But what really drew me to SafeBerks is I just felt like it kind of checked every box of just like a dream job of everything that I was passionate about. I have a background in education and have done a lot of advocacy with different marginalized groups. And so it just felt like it was the perfect place. So that was kind of what made me decide, all right, I'm going to move to Pennsylvania.
That's exciting. You can't beat a job that checks every box of what you would like to do.
Absolutely. You can't. It was worth the travel. So here I am, and I'm excited to be here.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And you're going to be a camp counselor.
Yes. So my role kind of at SafeBerks, or my role will be, I guess camp counselor is the best way to put it. But I work as a community educator, and so I do a lot of outreach as well. And so I'm definitely biased, but I think I kind of have one of the most fun and engaging and a little bit of everything jobs at the agency. And a big part of what I do is in community engagement is I get to educate the community members, get to educate the students, get to educate other like-minded nonprofit or work with other nonprofits like you guys, and get to talk about the different services we offer. So that definitely kind of will jump over and be part of camp as well, and in this counselor kind of facilitator educator.
Are you getting to do any of that stuff live and in person with people so far?
So yeah, we have been able to do several outreach events this year. July and June have been really busy months of outreach, and so we've been able to connect with a lot of different groups at a lot of different places. We were recently at the pop-up vaccine clinic with the LGBTQ Center in Reading. We went to I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that we've done recently.
The Camel Project.
Yes,
you were at the art fair.
Yes. So we have been able to do a lot in person, and are kind of starting to get back to kind of a sense of normal a little bit. And so I think that camp will be a good way to kind of get back to hopefully a little bit of some normalcy, and especially for the kids.
Oh, that's awesome. In since we're talking about the camps, camp, what are some of the topics that will be covered at Camp SafeBerks? Because SafeBerks covers a plethora of topics, but especially in this one, which I think will be very interesting. Which are the topics?
So Camp SafeBerks focuses on a curriculum called, and the camp was formerly known as Camp Peaceworks. And so the curriculum focuses on a book by Paul Kibble called Making the Peace. And so this curriculum basically teaches and focuses on educating youth how to prevent and eliminate violence from a trauma-informed perspective. And so each day, we kind of focus on a different topic of oppression or ism. This could include sexism and heteroism or heterosexism, racism, classism, ableism, and just a broad variety of different oppressions. And so our goal for discussing, some of these heavier topics is to identify and acknowledge students' positions of either privilege or oppression, and then how they can use that position to either be an advocate or an ally in society going forward as young leaders.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's one of them. And I think, one of the big topics that we talk about is racial justice. And I think that'll be a really important one, especially, over this past year.
Yeah, I really wonder. I'm so excited to see to be present when the teens express their opinions, their thoughts. How is their perspective? Because in reality, we've all been pretty distanced from many of the teens that we usually have in our lives, because we've been all in our houses or not in places that can allow us to have these discussions in person. So I think, and although there has been many different resources and spaces online and virtually that people can actually talk about it, etc. I think in person brings a different feeling and a different set of freedom that might, and humanity too. You have a person that if you said something or if you're feeling a way, they can support you right there, right then. So I think this is important work.
I'm definitely excited to have the in-person aspect, because like you said, it is different. And I think that it's been really hard for these teens. They're living throughout just an incredibly strenuous and monumental time. And so many are facing issues that maybe previous generations didn't have to face at such a young age. They're living through a global pandemic. They're having to deal with all of this social isolation that, none of us had to deal with before. And, and then they're having to witness, so much unrest and social injustice and racism and inequality that's been occurring over the past, or just building monumentally over the past year and a half. And so I think being able to be in person, be with like-minded people, be with, adults that can facilitate some of those positive discussions about the issues that are present in our society. I think that'll just be, I hope it's as positive an experience for them as I think it will be for the rest of us.
Absolutely.
Do you know, I know that you're relatively new to this part of the world here in Pennsylvania, but do you know how many years has Camp SafeBerks been happening?
I want to say it's 10. Okay. Somewhere. I know that I was looking back at some of our previous camp curriculums. I know that I found some stuff from, I believe, 2015. I had seen some stuff from there. And because it changed names and piecework as well, there may be some other curriculums and stuff floating around that I just am not privy to.
Yeah.
But I believe it's somewhere in that range of about 10 years.
That makes sense. As somebody who's lived here for a long time, I lose my perspective on time, but it seems to me that it's been, and I remember when it was called Camp Peaceworks. And I'm just thinking, as you say, like 10 years or somewhere in that neighborhood. So that means that we may have like 10 years worth of young people who have had the opportunity to have exposure to this material and this experience or similar experiences.
Yeah. Hopefully.
So.
And since Nadine, also based on your knowledge, to your knowledge, because it's so important to have these spaces, but to your knowledge, what has been the outcome from youth attending the camp? Have you heard stories from past campers, or maybe some of the other camp counselors have told stories? Do you know anything about other kids in other years?
Yeah. Sorry, was that for
me? No, go ahead, Victoria.
No, I wasn't sure. I was like, please, you share first, because I would love to hear, what knowledge you know from past years, and it's going to be more than mine. I know it is.
What I can mainly say is the first time that I heard of, I've never been directly involved with Camp Peaceworks or Camp SafeBerks. But when I first heard about it, when it was going to be happening for the first time, and I don't remember what year that was, but I'm going to trust that it was about a good decade ago or so, I remember thinking how amazing such an opportunity must be. And even as I said to Jonathan this year, and I've thought it in other years I was like, man, I want to be a kid again. I want to be able to go to that camp and experience that and be armed with, because I just imagine that being here in a community with other young people who are going through that experience, and to build somewhat of a support system of other people who are being exposed to and wanting to be involved with issues of social justice at this level is pretty amazing. I do also think, I won't mention any specific names, but it seems to me like over the years, kids that have been involved with Spectrum and some other related things in the area of social justice or touching into social justice things have gone to the camp and have had I've never heard a negative experience about it. Let's put it that way. I've only heard positive things. Just about how it wakes you up to things and also affirms things that you have been experiencing but maybe didn't have the language for.
Definitely. And well, I don't have, I don't know personally any of the previous campers. What I do know just from receiving, our applications for camp is that we have a lot of repeat campers. And so that's something that is really exciting because it's just showing that, it meant something to them, and they're wanting to come back as, we call it peer educators. So they will be kind of a facilitator and be able to lead a lot of the activities. And so they're getting to come back and be this example and this leader for their peers, while continuing to get those resources and kind of that nourishment and affirmation from, some of these topics that we'll be discussing. So that's something that I am really excited about. It's just, the kids that'll be coming back and how will their experience be different.
And the knowledge that they will bring, because they learn something the last time. I can't say last year, but the last time that they were there. But they've had time to keep growing and to understand more things, to have more knowledge, just to bring into maybe to teach us even, because that doesn't mean that just because we're adults means that we have all the knowledge or the answers, but yeah, it's so awesome.
It's one of the topics we talk about, where with adultism and having the kids recognize that, hey, you have a voice and you can be a leader in your community. You don't have to be a certain age and have certain qualifications or have a background as a community educator to be passionate about changing the community. And so I think the curriculum and just all of the things that we're talking about and the things that they're hopefully learning are encouraging them to go forward and then be those leaders in the community. And we get to kind of be their resources, hopefully, if they need any help along the way, we're there to provide that. And that was one of the things too, that I was excited to mention, was that even though, like we said, this wasn't last year, and I keep wanting to say like last year, but I'm like, not last year. But in previous years, I know that what they did was had these groups, meetup groups following camp. And so it provided, a safe space for the campers to be able to talk about what they learned in camp, and also a support group for them. So if these are topics that maybe they aren't discussing every day in school, or maybe it's something that they don't feel comfortable talking about in that setting, it's a place where these kids can come and say, okay, I know that the other people in this group have shared this same experience of camp in this very unique setting. And so they're able to come back and, meet back up with the friends that they had that could be from completely different schools and districts, and, can come back and feed off of each other and be an encouragement to each other, and then go back out and continue to be those leaders for social change. So it's a neat program. I'm just really excited. I'm like,
and now let me ask, this is a summer camp kind of thing. So while there is a lot of learning and discussion and conversation and things like that, it's not like these young people are sitting in a lecture all day long every day for a whole week, correct?
Yep, definitely not. No. And that was something we really wanted to make sure we weren't like focusing on so much. We didn't want it to just feel like, we're sitting here telling you and lecturing to you, even though, yeah, we have conversations. It's not a lecture. It's exactly that. It's an active environment for kids to have a conversation, and for them to ask questions, and for them to lead conversation. So I think in a lot of ways they're being the teachers, but like you're saying, it's not just sitting and having these, heavy conversations day in and day out. There's so many activities that we're doing. I won't give away too many of them because I'm like, no, they're like, I want to keep some things a secret, but
it's a surprise.
right, that's right. So, but a lot of fun activities. They have a lot of rec time. We have a lot of different art projects that we're going to be doing that are a lot of fun. We're going to be making TikToks. There are some different videos that we're showing that highlight different issues each day, different games. We have some different guest speakers, and a couple different guest activities. Again, won't say too much about that. So, and then we also have a talent show one night. And then the last day, I will give away this secret, but on the last day, we're having an ice cream social. So we have some ice cream trucks that will be there on the last day. Yeah. So, and
that's when I'm coming.
That's what I was going to say earlier. I'm like, well, I'm going to tell you about, an opportunity that you might decide if you want to come. So, a lot of fun activities throughout the whole week. So it doesn't just feel like, all right, we're here and it's more school. It's a lot of, there's just a lot of different fun things that we'll be doing the week.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Oh, Nadine, were you gonna say something?
No, now I just have like tons of questions.
But not about the ice cream, though.
Yeah, I was saying.
Well, no, I won't do that. We'll be here all night. But you take youth from all over Berks County?
Mm-hmm.
What are the ages? What is the cost? And can folks still register?
Yeah, all really good questions. So starting with age range, in previous years, I think we had a broader age range, but this year, just because of COVID concerns, our age range is 13 through 18. Now, if any 18-year-olds apply, they have to still be in school. So they have to be either going into their senior year or in part of their senior year. So everyone has to still be of school age. The cost is completely free. So everything is free. And we are going to be in the DoubleTree. So, I mean, it is going to be a beautiful, wonderful, I'm like, this is like the fanciest camp I've ever been to. I'm like, oh, this is great. Transportation is free as well. So if we already have a couple campers, I believe, who will be utilizing public transportation, and all of that is covered as well. We also, every day, we will have breakfast served by the DoubleTree. We'll have lunch served by the DoubleTree, and we will also have snacks, and all of that is free as well. So it will be a very, I'm like, we have been extremely fortunate and are super excited. And then we also have ice cream.
And that's free too.
Let's not forget that.
I think we couldn't sweeten the deal. No. And then on our Thursday night will be actually a little bit different. So even though camp ends at 4 o'clock, I believe, or 4:30 every day, on Thursday, that day will be extended to include a cookout. And so we will actually be in the park that day, and we'll have a cookout and be able to roast marshmallows and do other like real camp activities, But so we'll have some outdoor fun time as well. So all of that is free. And then registration, we are trying to wrap things up by this weekend. However, if we still have available spots, which I believe we should still have available spots, then, I don't think that will be a hard cutoff per se, but get those in, as soon as possible. And so you can go to safeberks.org to education. You can also just click on the events page or visit any of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, etc. All of that will have links to the application for camp as well. Or if you would like, you can also come to our location at 255 Chestnut Street in Reading, and you can actually pick up an application in person, whatever is easiest for anyone. We're accepting them through plane, train, automobile, email, horseback, send them via carrier pigeon. We'll take them all.
It's great. And, if in any case, I will be available if anyone feels that Cook County is a closer place to get to. And you would like to, well, we're pretty close, but anyway, if anyone needs a couple an application, I will be willing to give them out here too. So either go there or come here, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that you participate in camp.
We have a couple at I believe the LGBTQ Center has some as well. We dropped some off at all of the public pools in the area, should also have applications or flyers. If not, tell them where did they put them, because I was just there yesterday. No. They already ran out. No, so we have some there as well. But yes, or just email myself or Jonathan, or reach out to our director or our manager of education. We can get you an application however you need one. So lots of ways.
It's an amazing opportunity, and all of that for free. Mm-hmm. And I know SafeBerks well enough, and anybody in this community knows SafeBerks well enough to know that anything that they're doing is top quality. So, summer camps don't come cheap. Yeah. And they certainly don't come free.
Right.
And then with such rich information and such a powerful opportunity to be able, have that possibility of staying connected to your fellow campers right here in this community in the year to come. Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely a camp that, as a kid, I would have wanted to go to for sure, because I think that it can just open the doors for so much more as well. one, meeting new friends and making those connections with like-minded people, and learning more about the community or different volunteer opportunities even. For anyone who wants to pursue social justice, either continuing in high school or if that's something they're interested in doing in college, I think this is also a great stepping stone, where they can learn even more or ask questions about, hey, how do I get involved, or how do I, follow this path to become, a community advocate. So it's very exciting, and I'm excited to see what I learn from the kids, because I think that, it's just as much what they will teach us.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and also, what are the dates for camp? The camp runs from when to where?
So it will be held from July 26th through July 30th at the Doubletree by Hilton in Reading. And let's see, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. It'll be from 8:30 to 4:30 every day. And now I'm like questioning myself. I'm like,
we've been talking for a while.
Like, I've seen the flyer so many times too. But it will be from July 26th through July 30th. So that's Monday through Friday. And then Thursday being a little bit of a longer day to allow for talent show and cookouts. So those are the dates for that.
So please, everyone, just take it and grab it and just run with it. Just participate with this amazing opportunity.
And you get to meet these two amazing people in person.
And more people. I know a couple.
And more other amazing people.
Oh my God, I'm excited.
Lots of guest speakers, lots of fun, But again, I don't want to give away too much.
Right.
And that's okay, because they will know when camp starts.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Find out. Find out. We're not going to just give away our secrets now.
But this is an amazing opportunity. So hopefully, a lot of people will take it. This is important work. This is important information that we always need to, keep learning more, keep participating more. So this is an amazing opportunity to either start or continue.
Mm-hmm.
If you want more information, be sure to check all the social medias for SafeBerks, or visit safeberks.org/education if you're looking for the application or just more information about camp. And with that, thank you so much, Victoria, for being here.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Jonathan and Nadine. It has been a pleasure being here and speaking with you guys. Thank you so much for having us on. And hopefully we will see, I know I'll see Jonathan at camp. Nadine, we totally will give you any free ice cream. So feel free to
come for ice cream.
I'm already picking my flavors.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye.